I'll call on the following persons. I call on the following persons to complete the preliminaries. The national anthem will be played. I am calling on DP Ed to do invocation. I'm calling on DP Desmond to do the objects. Can we all stand for the national anthem, please, if you can so do while it's played?
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defenders, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to cherish. Give us visions lest we perish. Knowledge sent us, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
DP Ed, you can go ahead now with your invocation.
Good evening, fellow Kiwanians and guests. Please bow our heads for prayer. Eternal Father, O great King of all kings, great mighty God, we give you thanks this evening, O God, for your love towards us, your glory and your peace. O God, continue to use us, O great God, as your servants, as we do your work, Almighty God, in Kiwanis. Lord Jesus, bless the leadership of these movements, O Lord Jesus. Watch over your people, O great God, as they do your will, O Lord. Lord, we place this meeting before you, God, and ask, Lord, that you bless our deliberation. And Lord, whatever we say, whatever we do, let this meeting be orderly and decent. Lord, we ask, great God, that you bless every individual on this platform. Keep them safe, Lord Jesus. Bless their families. And Lord, we ask, mighty God, that you continue to bless our guest speaker. Oh Lord, as she prepared to do the work, oh God, of your people. Lord Jesus, keep her safe and give her, oh God, a word to speak. Lord, bless the leadership of this club. Watch over them, the board and the presidents, oh God, that speak. Lord Jesus, go with us each day. Continue to bless us and keep us, guide and direct our path. Let your mercy prevail, let your will be done, as we give you thanks in Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I'm not seeing DP Desmond as yet, so I'm going to call on DP Michael P. Can you do the objects for us?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, DP.
Please join me as we affirm the objects of Kiwanis International to give primacy to the human and spiritual rather than the material values of life, to encourage the daily living of the golden rules in all human relationships, to promote the adoption and the application of higher social, business, and professional standards, to develop by precept and example a more intelligent, aggressive, and serviceable citizenship, to provide through Kiwanis Club a practical means to form enduring friendship, to render altruistic service, and to build better communities, to cooperate in creating and maintaining that sound public opinion and high idealism which make possible the increase of righteousness, justice, patriotism, and goodwill.
Thanks very much, DP Michael P. for objects, DP Ed for the invocation, and to DP Donovan for playing the national anthem. At this time, I'll be handing over to the person who will be taking us through the rest of the evening's procedure, our MC, DP Donovan. DP Donovan, floor is now yours.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. And for now, what we'll do is call on PE Wayne to do the welcome and roll call of clubs. PE Wayne?
Thank you, MC Donovan. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our special guest speaker meeting. This evening, our special guest is veteran immigration lawyer Dorothy Burton, who is joining us all the way from New York City. I see 70 attendees on. It is great to see all of you. We appreciate you. We thank you for joining us. Allow me to extend a special welcome to all the distinguished Kiwanians joining us tonight. I'm seeing DLG Pauline Samuels, DLG Christine Long, and
Thank you. Treasure Wayne.
Welcome.
Thank you.
LGE Dion is on as well. I don't see LG on. Hi, welcome. All right, so we're gonna give our visitors a chance to introduce themselves, starting with clubs outside of Jamaica. Can your delegations, leader of a delegation, introduce your team? Any clubs from outside Jamaica? How about Division 25? Any clubs from Division 25 joining us?
Hi, good night, everyone.
Hi.
This is President Tony-Ann from the Kiwanis Club of Coastal Trelawney. There are 6 of us online. Thank you so much for having us. We look forward to an interesting meeting.
Thank you, President. Welcome to your team. Any other clubs from Division 25?
Yes, good evening. This is IPP Debbie from the Kiwanis Club of St. Bess. I am alone at the moment, expecting others to join. I'm grateful for the invite and hope to learn something from the guest speaker.
Thank you. Welcome, St. Bess. Good to have you. Anyone else?
Yes, good evening, Treasurer Wayne. President Tanya from the Kiwanis Club of Providence, Montego Bay. There are 4 in my delegation this evening. others may join. We do look forward to a wonderful meeting. Thanks for the invite.
Thanks for coming. It's good to have you. Any other clubs? Division 24? Any clubs from Division 24? How about coming east? Is anyone joining us from 23 East? Division 23 East? How about Division 23 Central? Sorry, go ahead. Hi, DLG Gerthlin. Welcome.
I'm sorry, I was just going to tell you that I just came off a meeting and I know they will be joining you soon. Is it still Treasurer Wayne?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, they will be joining soon. So just greetings from the Kiwanis Club of New Kingston, and I wait the others to join you now. Thank you for having us.
It's very good to have you, DLG.
Thank you very much.
Any other clubs from 23 East?
Good
How about 20
evening.
Evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
My name is Chair Latavia from the Kiwanis Club of 23 East Professional St. Andrew Online. On behalf of our president and Ezekiel Lightburn Christ, I'm bringing you warm greetings. Thank you for the invite. And this is a very interesting topic. So we are looking forward to the discussions or to learning. With me, I believe there are 2 of us online so far, but I'm expecting more of us to join. Thank you.
Hey, very good to have you. Welcome. Any other clubs from 23 Central? Or 23 East? No? All right. We're taking it back home to 23 West. I know we have a few clubs on with us. Want to introduce yourselves? 23 West.
Good evening, Treasurer Wayne.
Hi, good evening.
This
President
is President Ornett from the Kiwanis Club of Sunshine City, Portmore. I bring you warm greetings on behalf of the entire club. At present, there are 7 of us online, including our LG Janet Henry. We're looking forward to an informative meeting, and we thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you, and welcome, LG Janet. Very good to have you and your team. Sunshine City. Anyone, any other clubs from 23 West?
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Treasurer Wayne.
Good evening, LGE.
Thank you. This is LGE Dion Chambers, and I have accompanied me 15 other members of the Kiwanis Club of South St. Catherine. This is a very compelling topic, and so we look forward to an interesting discussion, and we are grateful for the invitation. Thank you.
Winning largest delegation again.
Yes.
Welcome to the big team. Any other clubs from 23 West?
Good evening, Treasurer Wayne.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. This is IPP resident from the Kiwanis Club of Old Harbour. Presently, we have 2 parties online, myself and DP Faye, and we look forward to this informative meeting this evening. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Great. Welcome. Any other clubs?
Good
evening.
Good evening, Treasurer.
Who was first?
Good evening.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. You see President Rayon? Spanish Town.
Good evening, Treasurer Wayne, and to all persons on the platform. I am President Rayon of the Kiwanis Club of Spanish Town, extending warm greetings to you all. There are currently 3 of us online, and we are looking forward to an interesting meeting. Thank you.
Great, welcome, welcome.
Good evening, Treasurer. Good
Hi.
evening, Treasurer Wayne.
Hey.
And everyone else on the platform. I'm President Karine from the Kiwanis Club of Guys Hill. Presently, there are 3 of us online. Very interesting topic where thanks for the invite. I'm sure more will be joining soon.
Great, it's good to have you all the way from Guys Hill. Any other clubs?
Treasurer Wayne, I don't know if I can get my president's attention. She is off the meeting now when she joined. President Sophia, are you on? Would you like to?
Sure. Thank you, Dale G. Gertlin. Good evening, everyone. This is Sophia Fairman, President Kiwanis Club of New Kingston. Currently, there are 7 of us online and really very happy to share in this evening's very interesting topic. So thank you for having us as usual.
It's very good to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, Treasurer Wayne.
Good evening.
President Gandhi, Kiwanis Club of the First City. I can't say who is online now. I'm not in a position to turn around to see who is online with me, but I'm here because this topic seems to be so interesting. I really want to know more about it. And I know that there will be others joining shortly. Looking
Great.
forward to this evening.
Welcome, President Vanderleen and your team. First City. Any other clubs?
Good evening, Treasurer Wayne.
Hey.
I'm not sure if any members from the Kiwanis Club of Greater Portmore had introduced themselves since I probably came on but was a bit distracted. I'm DP Blonzo. Bring you warm, lovely greetings from KCGP. I think 5 of us are on, and we're looking forward to this topic that has been on everybody's mind in a while since January here, you know, so thank you, and wish you all the best for the evening.
Thank you, DP Blonzo. Citizen.
You're most welcome.
Very good to have you on the team.
Thank you, sir.
Any other clubs? Any other clubs? How about special invited guests? Any guests of Kiwanians or any prospects online?
Hi. Hi, my name is Carl Johnson. I was invited by DP Donovan Morgan. I reside in Canada.
Very good to have you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm it's quite an interesting topic, and I'm looking forward to hearing it.
And I hope you enjoy the meeting.
Because I am Jamaican, so.
Welcome.
I also have a special guest myself, and you know I'll get in trouble if I don't mention my special guest. My wife is on, so I also want to welcome her to the meeting.
Welcome, Mrs. Morgan.
So I know I'll be in good hands tonight. I mentioned her.
Good stuff. Welcome, welcome. Any other special guests? Any SLPs joining us by chance? Don't see any online. Any SLPs joining us? No? Okay. All right, so now we open the floor for anyone who wants to share news or events, starting with bad news. Anyone has any bad or sad news to share? Well, let me start it off. Last Monday, well, two significant deaths. Last Monday, attorney Valerie Robertson, King's Counsel. She died after ailing for some time. I hear she was 71 years old, fairly young. So a big loss for the nation. Any other sad news?
Good evening, good evening. This is Chairman Watkins from EKPR. Roberta Flax died, one of the greatest singers ever.
Yes. Yes, yes, big loss. Yes,
birthday. So did Keith Lynn.
Keith Lynn died, yes. Yes, Kathleen. Keith Lynn died.
Say again? Didn't hear that one.
Keith Lynn. I think he was in the band, I don't remember quite what he was. But he was
Byron Lee and the Dragonaires.
Yes, right. Because then you know more than me.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Very sad indeed. Death comes to all of us. Can't avoid it.
Yeah, I
But,
think he is empty chairs.
yeah. All right, how about some good news to balance it off? Any good news from anyone?
Well, I have a good news. My aunt in the state had surgery last night, and she's recovering, and great recovery going on since morning.
Good.
So that's good news.
Yeah, man, excellent. Very good to hear. We also inducted two excellent prospects on Saturday during the visit of our KI president. That's good news for the club. And our friends over Capital City had a successful charter ceremony last night. They formed a new club, Kiwanis Club of Global Alliance. Congratulations to President Carroll and the new president, I think his name is President Lee. Oh, on a point of note, the new president is actually a past member of the Kiwanis Club of Spanish Town. Learned that last night. Any other good news?
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Dion Webb Morgan. My daughter's 17th birthday today.
How could you not mention DP?
We don't reach to that section as yet, sir. We get it.
Still good news.
Yes, that's
17 years.
I hope the sergeant is, oh no, it's okay. I won't tell the
DP
sergeant.
Daniel. DP Daniel.
PE Wayne, the best news of all is today is the 25th of the month, and we all know what the 25th stands for on the month calendar.
Payday.
That's great
Yes,
news.
of course.
I don't know.
Nice. Okay, Mr. Retiree.
Yeah.
All right, any special events happening today or recently? Birthdays, anniversaries? We heard about Zoe's birthday. Are there any other birthdays coming up or recently passed? It's been a very busy few days. A lot has been happening with the visit of the international president, Lee Kuan Yew. So that's actually a special event. Any other special events? No one wants to share? Today is also a special day for Kiwanis. Anybody know what today is?
Putting up some money.
It's the Kiwanis Day of Giving,
Giving.
where Kiwanis donate.
The day we give.
Yes, to the Children's Fund in order to help reach 45,000 kids worldwide. The target for this year is actually the third time they're putting it on. The target for this year is $100,000 US. So all donations made to the Children's Fund today goes towards that global target. So I encourage you before midnight tonight to go online and donate. All right, so thank you for your participation, and back over to the MC, DP Donovan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I notice everybody calling you Treasurer Wayne, your PE Wayne. When you're representing the Kiwanis Club of Portmore, you're PE Wayne. So, all right, so now that we got that out of the way, I want to send a special big up to our new members, Kiwani and Linval and Kiwani and Noel, who joined us, our club last week. So special big up to our new members who were inducted by the international president. And also to special big up to my friends in St. Bess who called to ensure that they have the link to join the meeting after I messed up with the Christmas party. So this is part of my makeup to them. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, my team. Now, one of the things is that MC must give some jokes. I don't have a lot of jokes, but I think I found one. My doctor told me I broke my arm in 2 places. All right, I tell the doctor, I broke my arm in 2 places, and the doctor looked at me and said, don't go back to those places. Right? So that's my joke, and it's probably the only one you'll get. So when our Sarge come on, he will provide.
Sarge is taking notes, Donovan. I hope Sarge is taking notes.
Sarge is taking notes. Yeah, probably think I'm gonna take his job, but not
That
yet.
joke.
That's a joke. All right. So I'm off to a good start. All right. Where's my document? Good. So our next item we're going to move to is our Kiwanis education, and this will be done by DP Donnell.
Yes, good evening. One question. What is terrific, kids? No answer? Okay. Being young leaders through practicing good character and good citizenship. Terrific Kids is a student recognition program that promotes character development, self-esteem, and perseverance. Terrific is an acronym for, anybody can answer that one? Anyone of my Kiwanians can answer that question?
Yes, DP Donnell.
Go ahead.
T is for thoughtful, E is for enthusiastic, R is for respectful, I is for inclusion, F is for friendly, and T is for capable.
You leave out the R though. You didn't tell me what the R is for. The other R is 2 R's. You tell me about one. What's the other one?
Respectful. Well, I just have 1 R in my terrific. Sorry.
Oh no, it's 2. It's 2. Okay, you have done well. Responsible is the next R.
Nice.
Yes, you could be at the head of the class. Okay, students work with their classroom teachers to establish goals to improve behavior, peer relationships, attendance, or schoolwork. All students who achieve their goals after a specific time are recognized as terrific kids. And the recognition includes being pinned as a terrific kid. I mean, they could be given pizza, ice cream, or other food team party. And one would have a presentation of certificates and other giveaways. So that is your Kiwanis education this evening. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, DP Donnell. And now we'll have recent significant event by our Assistant Secretary, Anthony. Secretary Anthony? Okay, you might be having some internet issues. All right, so I'll start off the recent significant event. As PE Win indicated, our international president was here, and there was a lot of activities. Some of us were able to attend, some were able to join online and hear the president speak, who encourages us to build Kiwanis, right? Which was his mantra in most of his meeting, to increase our numbers, more hands make the work lighter, to use our local terms. So we had the Kiwanis Club of Portmore not Kiwanis Club of Portmore, Division 23 West, where the clubs came together and on February 22nd, that's a Saturday, at Ascot High School, where the president visited. We had 3 activities on that day. The kids where they were spoken to by the doctors, dentists, the garden that the president visited. That was a project by Kiwanis Club of Greater Portmore, and also the induction. So it was a significant event for the clubs in Division 23 West, especially for those who were able to attend. DP Donnell, any interclub you want to share with the
Yes, I
members?
have a few. Since our last meeting, we have attended a few interclubs. On the 13th, we visited Coastal Trelawney. We had 10 members in attendance. On the 17th, we went to 23 Central Surrey Online. We had 6 members. And on the 18th, we went to Friends Across Borders. That's a joint meeting with them on Caribbean Emerging Leaders and Sunshine City. And we had 6 members in attendance. Also on the 18th, we journeyed to Kingston and we had 3 members in attendance. On the 19th, we went to Central Portmore. We had 4 members. And on the 19th again, we journeyed to Young Professionals St. Catherine. We had 3 members. On the 20th, we journeyed to Mandeville and we had 3 members. On the 24th, we had that international president of ECNC presentation, where we made a presentation to ECNC district, and we had 8 members in attendance. And on the 24th, we also were in attendance at that new charter ceremony for the new club, Global Alliance. Also on the 24th, we journeyed to Greater Portmore and we had 5 members in attendance. So those are the interclub reports, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, DP Donnell. One thing about the Kiwanis Club of Portmore, we like to join and share in the activities of other clubs. So you will always see us online in your club sessions, working with you, listening to your guest speakers, and ensuring that we learn something from your deliberations. For any other members in the Kiwanis Club of Portmore, is there any recent significant event you need to share? All right, if there's no other, we are now, if I had my music system, I would do a drum roll. So then I'm excited up the thing. Where we're now gonna have our guest speaker. Now, there's a lot of people online, and when our roll call was done and they asked for persons that are overseas, you notice it was silent, but they're there. So they want to hear what is happening and how they can help themselves, right? So you look in the list, you probably see something looking like iPhone, Samsung, no name. So we're hoping that we can impart some information tonight. But to ensure that you're clear that the person that we have making the presentation or giving us this useful information has the credibility to provide same. I'm just gonna give you a synopsis of who Dorothy Burton is. You all know she's an immigration attorney. Background, seasoned immigration attorney with over 26 years of experience practicing law in New York City. Throughout her career, Dorothy dedicated to helping immigrants navigate the often complex and daunting legal landscape of the United States immigration system. Her expertise spans several areas of immigration law, including family-based visas, employment-based immigration, deportation, defense, asylum, and naturalization. A few of the highlights of her career, where she assisted thousands of clients from diverse backgrounds and countries in obtaining visas and green card and citizenship. She's a staunch advocate for immigration rights, where she represented clients in high-risk state immigration hearings and appeal, often achieving favorable outcomes. Regularly conducts workshop and seminar to educate immigrants on their rights and immigration process, empowering them with the knowledge they need to succeed in their new life. She was educated.
I'm gonna deal with it.
Dorothy graduated with honors from the University of
Deal with it. Cause that was one of
in 1996, where she earned an LLB degree. She was also completed studying the Florida Coastal School of Law, earning a master's in law at the U.S. legal system. She was admitted to practice law in the states of New York and before in various federal courts, including United States Court of Appeal in the Second Circuit. Dorothy is driven by a deep commitment to helping individuals and families establish their life in the United States and achieve the American dream. Dorothy does a lot of community engagement where, it goes beyond her legal practice, where she involves herself in community service, volunteering her time and expertise to support non-profit organizations dedicated to immigrant welfare and advocacy. Her pro bono work is recognized by several local and national institutions. In her spare time, she enjoys a vibrant cultural scene, the New York City area, diverse cuisine, visit numerous galleries, and drawing inspiration from all this global experience in understanding in how she serves her client. So she's versed in the era that she's going to present to us. She has been helping a lot of immigrants to navigate the web of the U.S. immigration. So I want to welcome to give this presentation now, Dorothy Burton, attorney at law. Over to you, madam.
Okay, thank you, Donovan. Good evening, everyone. All the presidents from all the different clubs, the members, the friends, the guests, and to Dion, my good friend, and Donovan, my good friend. So thank you guys for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here to really shed some light and clarify a lot of things that are being said out there in the media about what is really going on. So on January 21st, 2025, President Trump expanded something called the expedited removal law. So he, normally this law is applicable to the airport and to the borders, but now they're using it all over the United States. And they're targeting people who have entered without inspection and who have not been admitted or paroled. So that means they have no visa, or even if they came without a visa, they weren't paroled in, because you can come in without a visa if you are paroled in or approved to do that. So the people they're targeting are those who don't have this visa or don't have this parole. And also they're looking at people who've been here for less than 2 years. So that's expedited removal. So they're going around and they're picking up people. You're seeing it in the media, right? And you're seeing lines of people, being taken to holding facilities and being put on flights to be sent back to their country of origin. Not only are they picking up those subject to expedited removal, they are also targeting those with final orders of removal. So they were in the legal system and were ordered deported because they had no relief, but they were still here for many years. So they're picking those people up. They're also picking up people who are dangerous criminals, and they got the information about these people from Interpol. So the United States have access to the Interpol database. Every country uses it, and they share back and forth. So if, for instance, somebody's here and they're, say, from Jamaica, and they had been wanted for a serious crime, their name is there. And so the US government, when they arrive here, run a check. And so they know where the person is. The person may just arrive and say, well, they don't know who I am. But they usually do know. And so they have the address that the person said they're going to stay. So they go to that address to get that person. So expedited removal for those less than 2 years, and for those people who weren't inspected parole or had a visa, criminals, those subject to final order of removals. Now, if you're with someone, let's say they come to your house and they knock at the door and they are asking for John Doe, you're there also, but you don't have your green card, they could take you into custody as well. So even though you're not a dangerous criminal, you may have come on a visa, but you overstayed, if they question you and they find that you have no papers, then they could take you. All right. So that's the broad spectrum of what's been happening. And so they have a list of all the people that's been ordered deported in the United States. So, and they have their address. Many times, immigrants who are in this situation with final orders have to report every 6 months to the court. So that's how they have your address. So even though they will let you live your life and work, take care of your family, they know you have this order and they ask you to check in. So it's almost like a parole system. So now they're enforcing it and picking up these people. Okay. Now, I know many of us have family members here who may not have sorted out their paperwork yet. You know, they don't have a green card. So the first thing that they should know is what are their constitutional rights. So if they're here for 2 years or more, they're not subject to expedited removal, provided they came on a visa, provided they already have a case that's pending, that's been filed. They haven't gotten their final green card yet, but they have a case in. Those cases can actually stop the removal proceedings. And if they're here longer than 2 years, even if they take them in, they can show proof that I have lived there for 2 years or more. And this is my evidence. I have hospital records, I have school records that I send my kids to school. I have a bill in my name with a date. So those people will get what is called due process. So due process means, you know, they're not going to be put on a flight to Jamaica or, you know, France or Canada. They're going to be given an opportunity to go to court, see a judge, and apply for a relief. Because even though you don't have your green card yet, there are ways in which you can get relief from removals. You don't necessarily have to be deported. Even if they caught you, you can say, look, I've been here more than 2 years and I have a way to get my green card. I have my mother, my father, my husband, my wife, my child, right? My stepfather, my stepchild that can sponsor me for a green card, and I want an opportunity to do that. So they will allow you within that removal proceeding to do that, and they won't remove you, okay? And they won't mandatorily detain you in some situations. So you will be able to live at, you know, your home, go to work. Many times, if you have a case pending, you have a work authorization. So you'll be able to do all of that. I know that we have some members of our community, our Jamaican community, that's here, and they applied for asylum. And so they have that case going on, and that gives them some protection. Because even though the president has said, okay, we're going to expeditedly remove you, we're going to cancel people that's on the Biden parole, there are those that came that have filed for asylum. And that's a legitimate case, and that has not been canceled. You can still get a green card to asylum. And some members of our community may have come here to seek relief because they said maybe they have information about a crime that was committed in Jamaica, and they fear that they're going to be killed. Okay, we have, you know, not many cases, but we have a few cases with people like that, and they have won their asylum cases. So those people are protected. So let me just talk about the general, you have no papers, you don't have anybody to file for you, okay? What do? If ICE comes to you and they stop you in the streets, you have the right to remain silent. So you could say to them, look, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to exercise my Fourth and Fifth Amendment constitutional right. So the Fifth Amendment says you have the right not to self-incriminate. So you don't have to give them your name. You don't have to give them your ID, okay? And you don't have to answer questions. You don't have to let them search your bag. If they come to your home, they knock at the door. If they don't have a warrant with your name, right, on it, you don't have to let them in. If they say they have papers, have them slide it under your door or show you through the window so you can be sure that that's a document with your name. If it doesn't have your name, don't open your door. Tell them to, come back with, the correct papers. And if they insist, if they say, okay, they're going to break down the door, they have the police with them, can let them in, but don't answer questions. Just say you want your attorney to be present, ask to be given an opportunity for your attorney to come before you answer questions, before you sign any document, and before you give them over your passport and your ID so they can actually identify you. If they can't identify you, they can't remove you because they're not sure if you are a US citizen. You could have been born here, okay? So those are your rights. You can refuse. But when I say refusal, I don't want anyone to get violent with them, struggle with them, or fight them, because that's resisting arrest, and that's different. Just stand silently and tell them you're exercising your constitutional rights and you don't want to answer questions. And you're not going to answer until your attorney comes. If they insist they're going to take you with them, go with them, but still request your attorney. Because usually a good immigration attorney can help you navigate the immigration system and come up with some relief that you can use to stop these proceedings, okay? So that's for this chaos that's going on now. Is expedited removal is expanded. So anywhere in the US, they can stop you. Usually we see it happening at the airport. So you come, maybe your document isn't right, or maybe they search you and they find a job letter or a WhatsApp on your phone talking about a job you're coming here to do. They could remove you expeditedly for that. So when you're coming here on your tourist visa, don't carry your CV or resume. Don't carry your college certificates. Don't carry letters of job reference, okay? And I would encourage you to also offload your WhatsApp and your text chat. Don't have those chat there because they can actually read through your phone. They could bring you into secondary inspection and read through your phone by saying, okay, you're coming here too often. You've been here twice for the year already. Why are you back here? Okay. Many of us as Jamaicans, we travel and we actually do business in the US. So nothing is wrong with doing your business, but you'll find that we'll be unfairly targeted. So if they bring you into the room and they search your phone, they could find more than you bargained for them to find. So just be careful with those things, okay? Another thing I want to say too is that limit the amount of things that you bring for your friends and family, like fruits and vegetables. Don't bring those things unless they're cooked and in a container. Don't try to sneak it in and beat the system because they're in an enforcement mode. So normally, when President Biden was here, they would let those things slide. But now they have this enforcement mode where they're looking for any little thing to say, turn you back or expeditedly remove you because they claim that you're violating the law. So don't bring agricultural products. If the sign said don't bring them, don't bring them. If friends and family ask you, just cook what you can cook. But if it's not cooked, don't try to bring it, okay? Another thing is be careful of the cash you travel here with. Over 10,000 US is gonna raise questions. Even if it's a check and it's 10,000 or more, that could raise a question. So limit the amount of cash you bring. It's best to just bring your credit cards. You can bring cash, but up to 9,000, or just plan to use your credit or bank cards here. Okay. I do want to say too that I think there's an opportunity for questions to be asked of me. So I'm going to stop soon to give you a chance to, ask me things. What I want to talk about quickly now is what is legal, what is still legal, what can we do? So if you want to live here, you want your children to live here, go to college here, they can still, we still have college student visas available for your children that want to pursue higher education, so can still apply for a student visa here. Usually the rule is when you come on your tourist visa, you want to apply for a student visa, you have to let them know at the airport that I'm planning to search out colleges and I'm planning to apply. If you notify them of that, it does allow you to change your status whilst here. That means if you get into a college, you can actually apply for the F1 visa, change of status here. It's a change of status, we call it, not a visa here without going back to Jamaica. And remember that you have to be here at least 60 days before you attempt to change your status. Otherwise, it's fraud. So to protect yourself, always seek, a consultation with an immigration attorney before you do anything like that. But if you are going to college, let them know at the airport. If you're coming here to get together with your loved one, your fiance, and you're planning to not go back home, you can do that. It's legal. Just wipe your phone. Do not have the communication to say, sweetheart, when you come, you're not going back. Don't have those things on your phone. Be careful of that, okay? So you can still be filed for by your husband or wife. You can still come on your tourist visa. You can still wait 60 days. You can still change your status. You can change your status to a student. For employment, you have to be in status when you change. So if you come and let's say you're sponsored for an employment, usually the employment case takes about 2.5 years when it's a green card. So you will have to plan to go back home. But let's say you are here to pursue business opportunities or investigate things and you want to stay longer than your 6 months, you have to apply for 6 months extension. So you can actually get an extra 6 months so you could be here legally for 1 year. So general thing I'm saying is just do everything by the book for right now, okay? For the next 3+ years, we have to do it that way. So your spouse, your parent can file for your mother or father, your stepfather, your stepmother. If you qualify in certain situations, your stepchild can file for you. The only people that doesn't qualify is grandparents, cousins, and aunts, okay? So I haven't seen a way that it can be done, but there's many other categories. So you have employment, you have H-1B. So if you're a nurse, a teacher, an accountant, a lawyer, some kind of professional, you can get sponsored for an H-1B or a J-1. Many schools are recruiting in Jamaica now for J-1 teachers, and they get the J-1 and they get it for 5 years. Usually that visa says you have to go back home at the end of 5 years, but there's a way in which you can stay and get a green card by getting a waiver, okay? We also have the travel programs that the college students, like if you have a child in college in UWI, UTEC, any of the colleges, they can come on the summer programs and work. So that's still in force. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of them have the 2-year residency where you have to go back home for 2 years. Again, they will need a waiver and they can get it in certain limited situations. So again, they should talk to an immigration attorney. The asylum I spoke about. Okay, so we have the family categories, the employment category. You have asylum, you have non-immigrant visas. So you can live here. We have literally almost A through Z, but we don't have a Z visa, but we have pretty much everything that you can think of doing. So you can come on a religious worker visa. That's an R1, okay? The H-1B I told you about for professionals, F1 for students. You have M1 for people who want technical training, many categories. So you can research them. If you're a journalist, there's a special visa for you. So many different things. And many companies are recruiting in the fast food industry for managers, and they sponsor them for a green card. We're talking about McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and those things. So look online for those jobs if you're interested in working here and living here, okay? If you plan to, if you have family here, they already overstayed, and they have no option right now for a green card, you can also talk to them about migrating to other countries. So many countries in Europe now have programs that they are looking to recruit people: Luxembourg, Saudi Arabia, Liechtenstein, Switzerland. They have special programs in Spain where you can, if you show, sufficient money from your virtual business, online business a month, you can qualify for some kind of visa to live there. And that allows you to live in any European country, actually. So if you get it for Spain, you can live in France with the same visa and work there. So there are other options aside from the US that people can also look at to regularize their stay. Okay, so I'm going to pause to see if I have any questions.
Okay, thank you, Dorothy. Any questions from the members? If you have any questions, just either raise your hand, open your mic, and ask your question.
I have a couple of questions, DP Donovan.
Go ahead.
Thanks very much to our guest speaker. I have a few questions. One person have asked me to ask, can you file for someone if you are a green card holder? And if so, how long after you have that green card can you file for somebody else? Let me just put the questions and then you can just answer.
Okay.
Right? Recently, a colleague of mine told us that his friend, who is a US citizen, came to Jamaica, spent some time. And on his way back, when he got to the airport, I think in Florida, they took his US passport and turned him back because he did not leave the US with his US passport, and they have no record of it. I don't know if that is true, if that is possible, if something like that can happen. And then my last question is, how long after someone receives their green card can they apply for citizenship? And you mentioned earlier about expedited removal for persons who were there for or in the US for less than 2 years. I didn't get your explanation, so I'm asking it now. If you could just repeat that part of what you said. Thank you. Those are my questions.
Okay. Thank you for those questions. Those are some good questions. So starting with the green card, if you have a green card, the same day you get the green card, you can file for your spouse, your child under 21, your child over 21. The only people you cannot file for is your mother and father or your married child, okay? You have to be a citizen for that. So a green card holder can file for minor child, adult child, as long as the adult child is unmarried, and they can file for their spouse. And usually, if it's a minor child, they will get you within 24 months. If it's a spouse, 24 months. If it's an adult child, it's taking an average of 6 to 7 years to get approved, okay? So it could be even slightly longer for adult children, maybe almost 8 years, okay? But you can still file for your adult child the day you get your green card, okay? So regarding citizenship, I want to just add this for citizenship. If you have a green card and you got it based on marriage to a US citizen, you can apply for citizenship in 2 years and 9 months from the day of the green card. But if you were filed for, like your parent filed for you or your own child, then you can apply for citizenship in 4 years, 9 months. You can expedite your citizenship if you join the military. So if you're eligible for that and you join the military, within a year, they can naturalize you. I also want to say too that if you're a parent who became a citizen and you have a child under 18, when you became a citizen, that child technically is a US citizen and you can apply for the child's passport. But there's a but. Only US immigration can naturalize a foreign person. So The passport is processed by the passport agency, and they usually ask for proof that the child lived with you and the child went to school under your care. That's the qualification to actually give your child citizenship. If you don't meet that criteria, if the passport agency made an error and they gave the child a US passport, it can be revoked in that situation. So we as attorneys are saying to parents, you can apply for the child naturalization certificate. It's a certificate that they get. They don't take a test or anything, but immigration put them through the same procedure as an adult without the test and give them a certificate. No, that certificate is permanent and final. To address the question of the man who didn't leave with his US passport and they returned him expeditedly, I don't think that's true. I think there's something else. I think there's something that was maybe discovered about his background. Maybe he had a criminal history and it surfaced because sometimes the Interpol records are delayed. So one of my clients could get a green card this year. They go for citizenship 3 years from now. Immigration is bringing up something and saying, Mrs. Burton, this person was arrested 7 years ago in London, and now we know because we have the facts. So usually they would have found out something unfavorable, and that's why they did that. Okay, if it did happen, that's the reason. I don't believe it's because he arrived in Jamaica with his Jamaican passport. Want to caution us that for those who have US passports and a Jamaican passport like me, I would arrive in Jamaica with my Jamaican passport, but I have the US passport, but I never show it. So now I'm telling my clients, just travel with your US passport and leave the Jamaican passport back home in New York, while this is going on until we get more clarification. So just if you have a US passport, just use that to enter Jamaica, leave with it and come back. If you are a green card holder, you should not stay out of the US longer than 6 months. Try to come at least once. Now, they're not going to put you in removal proceeding if you're out for 7 months, but they're going to caution you. To protect your green card, if you're a green card holder and you want to stay in Jamaica or any other country for longer than 6 months, but not more than a year, you can never do that, you should apply for something called a travel document. It's a form, it's called I-131, and that protects your green card, gives you the right to stay in Jamaica for 2 straight years on a green card, and they can't do anything to you. They give you a little book. It's a little book. It looks like a passport, but it's a travel document to come back when you're ready. And you can extend it. So if you want another travel document, you can apply for it. You can, I think, do max 3 times and then break it by coming every 6 months, then start over again. Nothing is wrong with doing that. So that's the travel document. The expedited removal. So Donald Trump expanded it to say that anywhere you are in the US, they don't have to take you to the court to show you to a judge. They can just take you to a facility, a detention place, and arrange for your flight to Jamaica. So that's why we say it's expedited, because you don't get to see the immigration judge at all. And those are for people who've been here less than 2 years, or if you're here for more than 2 years, but you didn't have a visa when you came, or you weren't paroled at the border, then they can, so you're here 10 years, but you never have a visa, you come on some Bandulu document, then yes, they can expeditedly remove you without you seeing the judge, okay?
Thanks for that, Dorothy. So
I have a
much
question.
information given. The president wants to ask his question now. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay.
President.
Yes,
No,
thank you,
if-
VP Donovan. I have grandchildren who are American born. They are Americans, but for a while they were going to school here with me, and they have grown to love the American food, the Jamaican food, tasty cheese, chips, plantain chips, banana chips. Now that they are back home, the mom says they're hardly eating anything, and all they want is just those Jamaican stuff. I am planning to go up, and I was sent a long list of Jamaican things that I should take with me. Do you think I would have problems going through the airport with banana chips, cheese sticks, cheese, those kind of snacks? Because that is what they want now.
Okay, President Henry, so that should be fine because they're processed products in packaging. So it's just not any fruits, right? Not any fruits, and not any vegetables that's in its pure form. Okay. So if you're gonna bring mango, you would have to peel it and like freeze it. Take the skin off and everything and put it in
What
something
about
and freeze it.
KFC? What about
I'm sorry?
KFC? What about KFC?
Yeah, that should be fine because that's cooked. That's cooked food. So as long as it's cooked or in a process in some kind of way, it's okay to do that. But no seasoning. So let me tell you about vegetables. I'm talking about thyme, pepper, those things that we have, that we season our food, and we want it in the purest form because it's the best. Don't bring those.
I have a question.
Go ahead, DP.
All right.
Thank you.
My question is, if you are in the process of applying for your green card, the process is going on, and you have gotten your travel letter, would it be wise for you to travel with that letter or wait until you get the green card?
So that's a good question. So I am telling my clients not to use their advanced parole. We call it advanced parole. Because if they're in the US and they get this travel document, it's a document that lets you go back and forth while your case is pending. So normally my clients would use it, but I'm now telling them not to because it's discretionary. That means if they come to the airport in Miami and they're being questioned and the answers, the immigration officer doesn't like the answer that they have given, they could deny them entry. There's no guarantee that they will be given entry. And because of the uncertainty right now, I would prefer the person to wait until they receive their green card.
Thank you.
Great. Any other
You're
questions? All right, I'll just shoot off one now. The filing process, with what is happening now, has the process gotten longer or it's the same with everything that's happening?
Okay, so that's a good question. So today in my office, I got like 3 approvals for green card, which was shocking because one of them, I swear they were going to interview the lady. But so to me, they're following the same policy, still as quick, because I guess they're trying to set up a new system of control, right? They fired 20 judges that they recruited in New York, but those judges haven't even started working yet. So the same immigration officers, staff is still in place and they're doing interviews. I've been to interviews since January 20th, and to me, everything looks the same. But I know there's a lot of activity on TikTok and a lot of activity on that other website. So you have TikTok, and my niece, she's on, can help me, Instagram. So these lawyers that are on these platforms, I know they're trying to get customers, so they create a lot of fear in people's mind because they want clients to call them. And to me, some of these lawyers are not really that experienced, but they want customers. So they will see a lot of wild stories that's not true. So in my experience, working since January 1st all the way to now, everything is still the same. Once heard of ICE on Merrick Boulevard, which is close to my office, doing random traffic stop. That's it. None of my clients have been spoken to by ICE. None of my clients have been detained by ICE. None of my clients have contact with ICE. I don't know of anybody else in my church that have contact with ICE because spoken to my church, there's just nothing. So the media have this imagery of mostly Hispanic men in a line, right? Yes, there's flights that they said arrived in Jamaica with people that are Jamaicans. And I believe that those people were either just recently released from prison or were known criminals, and Interpol had their names and they went and got them. But generally in the community, no such thing. They have done raids, you know, on certain business places. But now, like in New York, they're planning to set up their operations at Rikers Island, which is our biggest prison in the city, to get people who are there without documents. And when they're released from prison, they will take them. Had a client last week, he had a DUI, driving while intoxicated, and he was so scared. So I said, let me go with you. He's actually like a friend, my electrician, but he's from Mexico. So I went with him to his court and ICE wasn't there. I stayed there with him for the whole proceedings. Lots of other people was in front of him, had their DUI cases heard, and ICE wasn't there to pick up anyone. They were just, yeah. So a lot of what's going on is a lot of rumors and crazy speculation. So I would say things are pretty calm and things are going at the same pace. File your application, speak to an immigration lawyer if you want advice, but everything is going normal. There's nothing being stopped.
Okay. All right. Another question. We have a question here from the chat. What if you're on a H-1B visa? Is it recommended to travel to Jamaica at this time?
Yes, but I hope you have the visa stamp in your passport. If you have the visa stamp issued from the embassy already, then yes. But if you were here, your status to H-1B, and you have that sheet of paper, is a proof of notice. You have to go make an appointment to go to the embassy to get the visa put in to come back. But yes, you can go. You can go.
Okay. Another question from the chat. What is the estimated cost of your service for preparation of document for parents who is a citizen to file for a adult child? Maybe that's something you want to have offline. But if you could give us an estimated, because that's one of the questions I have. A lot of persons, when they listen to the radio, they will say, okay, first thing you need to do is to get a lawyer. And that's easier said than done, right? Not everybody have liquid cash to spin around right now. But what would be a guesstimate for a simple filing case, or to protect to represent somebody in court when you're not doing it for charity?
Okay, so like my fee range, it depends on what I'm doing, but it starts from 1,500 to like 7,500. That usually depends on the amount of applications and how long the case is going to take and the amount of things I'm doing. But that's usually a range. And we have a payment plan. So we usually ask the clients to put a deposit down with us, starting from, like, say, if the case is 15, then the deposit is 750. But then we say to them, okay, make a payment of $250 per month while your case is going on. And we make that kind of reasonable for clients because we're from the immigrant community. We don't want to overcharge and burden them anymore. But it's not that. It's usually, most lawyers are usually within that same price range. If the lawyer is very, very expensive, I would say get a second consult done with another lawyer just to get an idea of what is a fair cost. And sometimes what people could do too is just do the consultation with the attorney, get certain guidance, make sure they're on the right track, and then try to file the case on their own. Because not in every case you need a lawyer, okay? Sometimes you can file it on your own, and then when it gets to a certain point, you can get the attorney involved. But don't let the cost of doing it for your children stop you. Also, I want to say quickly that there are entities like the Catholic Charities and different other nonprofits that do filings at a reasonable cost. So you can contact them. They have an immigration arm that have lawyers there. They're a not-for-profit group and they charge you a minimal fee. They can help you. Another thing to say is that if one of your family member, they're in trouble, they've been picked up by ICE, but they have due process where they get to see the judge, they can, the court have a list of free lawyers so that they can get an attorney from that, okay?
All right, thank you. The questions are coming in rapid, so you might have to spend an extra 10 minutes with us. We'll just take the questions from Assistant Secretary Anthony. You may go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Someone had asked me to ask a question. Okay, this is this young lady living in New York. She recently got a green card. She was filed for by her daughter. She went up and decided to overstay and with her kids. She just got her green card, and but the kids, the sister was filing for the kids, but the documents were returned to her, and I think she was told that she will have to do the filing for the kids because the length of time it will take with the daughter. In that case, what would you advise her to do?
I think she should speak to an immigration attorney, to kind of clarify why the documents were returned, and then file it quickly. So the person who got the green card is her children that didn't get a green card, it seems, right? So,
right.
So that person who got the green card should file for her children right away.
But can she
Okay.
file? She's not a citizen. Can she file with a green card?
Yeah, she can file with a green card. The only children she cannot file for is married children. So if she have a child that's now married, that won't go through. But if they're all unmarried, all are unmarried children, then she can file for them with the green card.
Okay, okay. I think that's good news for her.
All right.
Thank you so much.
I don't know, Donovan, can I just say this? Can I put my phone number in the chat as well? Because maybe
I have it on screen here.
You have it. Okay, so guys, my number for my law office is on the screen. So if you want to do a consultation with my office, we can do it by phone, so you don't have to come in, and we can do it in person, of course, if you want to come in. But it's not free. We do charge a fee of $100. Okay.
Yes, that's a fair amount to get a consultation to know the direction to go. All right, we have some questions in the chat here. I'm just going to ask them and try and answer them as quickly for the persons listening. What is the issue if a student receives a F1 visa, completed 1 year of student at school, but could not complete school due to financial situation, but is still in the US on this visitor's visa?
Okay, so that's a good question. This student can actually go back into student status if they get financial help. So they can, even though they have been out of school because they had to drop out, they can actually go back into school and fix the status back to where it was. If that's impossible because they just simply have no money, then my suggestion is, and we're not talking about marrying a citizen. If they have nobody else to file for them, I will still encourage them to try to finish their education in some way or form, still get that degree. Because after you've lived in New York for 6 months, you're a domiciled resident, and you can get home student fees, or you pay local fees. You pay the same fee a local person with a green card would pay. So you can manage to finish your degree and then look for job opportunities in other countries that you can immigrate to, EMI, right? That kind of immigrates where you leave and go somewhere else. Because if you go to another country like, say, Spain or whatever, you can apply for a visitor's visa to come back. Canada even, they're not going to penalize you. Once you go to one of these first world countries, even if you overstayed and was out of status, you can still come back here. But still try to finish your degree some way, somehow, by registering as a local student, because that's not illegal. Even though you don't have your green card, it's not illegal to go to school here.
Okay. Another question. You're a green card holder who has already gone more than 6 months outside of the US. What are your recommendations?
To come back quick, come back quick, come back quick. But seriously though, when you come back, apply for the travel document, because when you have to do it while you're here. So while you're out of the country, you can't apply for it to fix the problem. So you come back in, then apply for it, and then you can leave and go, back to Jamaica, and then they'll process your travel document. It could even take up to a year, but it will fix you that when you're coming back this time, you have it to come in with and they won't question you. And avoid Miami airport in the meantime. Don't fly in through that. Come to JFK.
All right. Another question. How long does a fiance visa take, and any idea of the cost for
Doing
that
it?
time?
So it's 6 months. I charge a fee of $2,500 and you get it in 6 months.
6 months? That's a short time.
Yeah, because then when you come here, you have to do the marriage and then file for the green card. So then there's a marriage case following that, but it's 6 months. And if you hire us to do both that and the marriage, we usually will reduce the fee, charge $1,500 for the fiance visa part.
Okay, get a combo deal.
Yeah.
Great. Another question. How does someone that's illegal get legal without marriage?
Okay, so that is a good question. So one of the ways is asylum. So if you are a target of a crime, let's say in Jamaica, you're in fear for your life, you can apply for asylum. And though it's not a popular way, there are people that have gotten approved. Yeah, they've proven their case. So asylum is one. The employment categories applicable too, but you can't, if you're out of status, it doesn't apply. So there's no employment category right now that you can go into and get a green card. However, Donald Trump announced that if you are illegal and you graduate from a US college, he's looking to give you a green card. So that is an option, right? And if he says something, he's gonna do it because he keeps telling people, but I told you I was gonna do this. So I guess he's really gonna do that. So people who are here illegal, try and get a college degree here because there might be a way out, okay, for you that way.
Okay. Another question. You mentioned asylum as one of the method, and proof have to be given. What's the type of proof are we talking about? Suppose I say, okay, I fear for my life, I don't want to get back to Jamaica. That's not proof. What proof would you have to give? Something from the police? Something from
from the police, yeah. So it's like have a particular client now who they had some issues with, it seems like his family and him was targeting, and unfortunately some bad people killed 2 members of his family, and he was able to show the connection that there was some kind of dispute, and they shot one of his family members, and then they went and shot another one. And so because of the proof was from the police reports and also the written media. So the Gleaner, the Star had the articles about the incident, and yeah, they used that and they believed them. So it has to be very strong evidence. Asylum is discretionary. So when you present your case before a judge, if you have the preponderance of proof, then usually if they believe you and believe that you are not going to be safe, even if you move to Westmoreland or wherever, yeah, they'll grant it.
Okay. The other question, documented person. How are they affected by the recent reinforcement of the immigration laws that Donald Trump, the president, is pushing at this stage? Are they affected, as what you see on TikTok and all of those, or persons green card are taken away, or this or documented person are being deported and all of that? Is that a fact, or are they affected, or how are they affected?
So I want to say for my Jamaican family that's here online, if you have family members like elderly relatives that have a green card, but they can't really stay up here long because of the cold weather and they want to be home, you can surrender your green card and get a visa. So if they know they just really don't want to live here and they never will, to avoid harassment, they can just surrender the green card. Because the most problem you're going to find is when you come to the airport and they're going to say, well, why are you in Jamaica for long? You know, you're down there for 9 months. Last year was down there for 9 months. You know, we think you live in Jamaica. So to avoid that harassment, if you're a green card holder, just switch it to a visitor's visa. That's one option. Another option is apply for citizenship. So if you're a green card holder, apply for citizenship, because when you're a citizen, you're protected. If you're a US citizen, they cannot do anything to you, but make sure you have proof. So what I saw was from January 21st to now, every time I go to the post office, there's a long line of people. Who are these people? People applying for passport. Everybody just got up and rushed out to apply for passports, US passports, to prove their status. So make sure you have a valid US passport if you know you're a citizen to prove your status, because if you're in a tight spot, if they stop you, or you're in a building and they came for other people and they start asking you a question, make sure you have that proof. So that's how you can protect yourself. Have your green card, keep it active. It's valid for 10 years. If it expired, renew it, or better still, apply for citizenship. Apply for a US passport if you're eligible for that. Keep those documents.
We'll ask one more question because time is jumping on us. What is the estimated time frame for a parent filing for an adopted child? There seems to be a challenge. How that process works, not biological, an adopted child.
Okay, so I'm an adoptive parent too. I have 2 children. In fact, you know, Donovan and Dion know my kids very well because I had them going to the same school as Zoe. So that's how we met. So I adopted my children and they're not Jamaican born, right? So I took them to Jamaica for some good old-fashioned Jamaican education in 2014. So I can explain the process. So there's 2 ways. There's, if the child is an orphan, you would petition for the child as an orphan and bring the child to the US as an orphan. So that means one parent is either not able to take care of the child and the other parent abandoned the child. That's an orphan. Or one parent died, okay? Now, the orphan way is like under a 3-year process. There's another way where you have a child with you in the US that you adopted. You have to live with that child for 2 years after the adoption, and then you petition for that child, and then it's 9 months for that child to get a green card. And you have to adopt that child by the time the child is 15. Don't let the child go over the age of 15. Okay, that's the one in the US. And the orphan is the same thing. Okay, so the orphan, you don't have to really adopt the child, but the child is deemed an orphan. But usually Jamaica Adoption Board has a procedure that they follow to designate the child. So the child could leave Jamaica to come here to also be readopted by you. So many times they let you adopt the child in Jamaica. Okay, but that's a lengthy process. It's like 3 years. It could even be more. Why? Because they investigate everything. They actually go to the district. They question people. They question everyone because of child abuse. They want to make sure that nobody's selling this child. So it takes a little longer.
Okay. The questions just keep coming in. Should I walk around with my green card or a real ID is sufficient when I'm in the US?
So the real ID is to travel domestically, but it's not, I mean, in New York, I have something called an enhanced driver's license. So on my driver's license, they put my US passport. So DMV take an imagery and they have it there. So when I show that, that shows that I am a US citizen, or even if I have a green card, I take it to them and they scan it in so that my driver's license says it. So yes, for travel purposes, starting May the 1st, you will need a real ID, but walking around, I suggest that you get an enhanced driver's license, or when you apply for your US passport, apply for the passport card. It looks the size of a credit card or a driver's license. Travel with that, a US passport card or an enhanced driver's license. And I guess the real ID.
It's good. All right, Next one, and then I'll let you go now. The proposed college green card, is there any update regarding this initiative? And can you explain the EB5?
Sure. So the college green card, the president spoke of it just this week again. So he mentioned that in another interview that he's looking to do that, grant green cards to people who graduate from a U.S. college and got a degree and they're undocumented. So that's the most that we know now. He has not made an executive order yet, but he's signing more tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow he'll sign that. So regarding the EB5, so that's an investor type green card where if you invest in a business, you can get a green card through that. And they have like EB5 empowerment zones where there's certain planned developments like shopping malls or housing development that you can invest your money in and qualify for this special green card. In underserved areas is 800,000 US, okay, minimum. And then in served areas like New York City and so on, it's like $1 million US, and that leads to a green card. But you also have some other categories where you can start a business here in the US and qualify for the special visa that goes with it. And also too, if you have a business here that's related to one in Jamaica, you can do a L1 transfer to get a visa to live and work in the corresponding business. So the other business I just mentioned, the second option is where you start a business for like 100,000 US, and they give you a visa, right, to live here and operate your business. And after a certain period of time, you apply for the green card, okay? So there are many different options that you can explore, by talking to a qualified immigration attorney if you want to move here.
Okay. No, that was a mouthful. I think we got our money's worth, even though we don't pay. Right? We got our money's worth.
DP
But one quick
a
question.
please.
Go ahead.
Okay, could you just repeat the name of that document for persons who overstayed time in Jamaica who want to do extended time on their green card in Jamaica?
It's a travel document. It's form I-131, but they have to come here, fly back to the US to apply for it, okay? So when they're physically here, they send the application in. It's called an I-131.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
One quick question. The college green card, would it be retroactive? I got my degree 3 years ago. And if the executive thing is signed tomorrow, can I just apply?
Okay, so it sounds like you can. I mean, you have to physically be in the US though.
Okay.
And, be illegal. So if you're planning to, if a person is going to take advantage of that and they want to do that, come now. Get a flight tomorrow, arrive here. Because they usually have a sunset date. They'll usually tell you the date that this is going to cut off from the day we speak it out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to close off the question and answer section now. And on screen, you will be seeing Dorothy Burton's contact information, email address, and telephone number. And she, as she indicated, she does do consultation and also can represent you in the proceedings that you have as it relates to navigating the U.S. immigration, getting your green card, and possibly status update in the U.S. So feel free to reach out to her. You can always contact us and we can give your information. It's also in the chat. So
DP
before we
Donovan, can I
continue,
just ask one quick question to
all right.
Dorothy?
Hope is not 3 in 1,
No, not this time. Are you licensed to work only in New York? If I'm in Miami, for example, could you represent me?
Yes, I'm licensed for all 50 states because immigration is federal law. So I can do it. Yeah, I can do it in any state.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
All
welcome.
right. It's a good question. All right. Before we continue, I'd like to ask one of my members to pass a motion to extend the meeting for another 15 minutes.
IDP Donnell move the motion for the extension of the meeting for another 15 minutes.
Seconder?
Assistant
DP Vincent.
Close.
Who was that? DP Vincent?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, great. All right, meeting is extended for another 15 minutes. So at this moment, we'd like to thank Dorothy, immigration attorney. I mean, the wealth of information that was just put on us, it clears up a lot of things. So those things that you're seeing on the TikTok and the scaremongering and all of that that's happening, I hope this has, push away some of the fears, some of those anxiety that a lot of Jamaicans are having. And it's just, as you go into TikTok or wherever you get your social media news from, you're just being bombarded with this. Stories of persons being, captured at mall and put on some truck to get deported, and then you see a plane and all of that. So, it's good that we have this, which I think when the president reached out to me, I think it was a good idea, because I have questions too, and a lot of them were answered in the question that a lot of people asked. And there's a lot of commendation in the chat there for you, Dorothy. People really appreciate what you deliver. But I'm not the person giving the vote of thanks, so we'll call on DP Michael to do the vote of thanks to Dorothy. DP Michael?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Yes, the task is mine to do the vote of thanks, and I'm sure you will agree with me that tonight's presentation was extremely timely, informative, and relevant. I think we have taken a lot from this presentation. We have learned about the expediting removal law, the change of status, the different categories of visa. So it was really a mouthful, and as you have said already, Donovan, we got the money's worth, right? So we are really thankful, we are really appreciative of this presentation, Dorothy. And I'm sure the next time persons are traveling or are visiting the US Embassy, they will be well armed with information as to what exactly they want and how to go about it. So thank you very much for this presentation, and we wish you all the best. And I'm sure you'll be contacted for your service as a result of this presentation. So thank you again. Thank you very much for this presentation.
Yeah, and I think...
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, one other thing is that you'd rather go to a Jamaican/US attorney, somebody who knows know what yard is about, rather than going to somebody who, don't know what to pick a mango is like, that type. So thank you for that, Lady of the Soil. And the presentation, as DP Michael indicated, was well received based on the question that was asked. Well received. I think you have saved a lot of persons some legal fees that they would have to pay to get some of these information. So we want to thank you, and I think I speak for everybody on the platform. So at this time, we're winding down now, so we'll move to correspondence and announcement. Secretary is online. Mr. Secretary?
Yes, I'm here. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Short announcement.
We're not hearing you, Mr. Secretary.
Short announcement. I'd just like to make note that the election for sorry. The ENC District Convention is in Niagara Falls, Canada this year. I received communication from DLG Christine King asking for a vote of confidence in this upcoming election. The only other announcement I have is that I would like to welcome our 2 newest members to Kiwanis. That is Mr. Linval Lewis and Noel Ramsey. Welcome, guys, and I hope to see you on many more occasions. That's it for me.
All right. Any other club have any announcement that they'd like to put forward at this time?
Good evening, DP Donovan.
Evening, DP Clifton.
I'm DP Clifton from the Kiwanis Club of Spanish Town. Just one announcement. This Thursday, we'll be having a guest speaker night at our regular meeting place, Arian's Restaurant in Spanish Town. The topic is constitutional reform. Our guest speaker will be Ms. Danielle Archer, Attorney at Law, Principal Director, National Integrity Action. Meeting time is 7:30 p.m. So I'm asking all who are on this platform now, you can make it to Arian's Restaurant and come and listen to a topical topic, constitutional reform, this Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
Okay. We will be there. Any other?
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. We're listening.
This is DP Audrey from the Kiwanis Club of Sunshine City, Portmore. I just want to share with you our exciting Easter hamper basket raffle, where we have fish, bami, festival, bun, cheese, juices being, the main prize. 3 prizes, but the only difference is that the first prize has 1 weight of fish and the other 2 will have half a weight of fish. And you have the option of it being prepared by Jolly's Restaurant. And we deliver anywhere in Jamaica, not for the express, or LG will take it to you if you want, anywhere along the line. So $200 per ticket, and we will have tickets at the next DCM. So come with your $1,000 to buy 5 tickets, right, DLG Christine? Good, thank you.
Okay, one question. What's a weight of fish?
Oh, 6 pounds. 6 pounds. Okay.
How much is
6
that?
pounds. 6 pounds down LA, right? 6 pounds. And you can have the fish steam, fried, any way you want it, right?
All right, brown stew, I want mine. Anyway,
Yeah.
any other announcement? Remember our DCM is coming up in March. So I don't know if LG want to indicate a date for that DCM.
Yes, thank you, DP. Yes, thank you, DP Donovan. It will be March 30, Sunday, March 30. And we are finalizing arrangements. So we'll let you know as soon as we have a venue secured.
Excellent.
To let you know too, I think you may have been, well, the presidents may have been advised that at that DCM we will be electing our LGE for 25-26.
25-26. Okay. All right. Thanks for that, LG. Also, another announcement that came in, Circle K, and their annual 15th District Convention or conference is happening on March 7th today.
So there's a
What's that, LG? Okay, as I was saying, the district convention for Circle K on March 7th to the 19th
Sorry,
at Cardell Cliff Hotel and Spa in Runaway Bay. So if you can make it, please attend. You had something else to say, LG? All right. Any other announcement from any clubs?
Hi, good evening,
Go
DP
ahead.
Donovan.
Hi, go ahead. IPLG, run it.
Okay, thanks much. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to make an announcement on behalf of the Kiwanis Children's Fund. As you know, today is February 25, Kiwanis Day of Giving, where every member is being encouraged to donate to Kiwanis Children's Fund, as small as US 2.25. And the good news is that it has been extended until tomorrow. The aim is to reach 45,000 children. So I'm encouraging everyone to donate. Thanks much.
Okay, excellent. For those of us who haven't made their donation as yet, please do. I made mine. Please make yours. And question IPLG, run it. Normally at the end of the year, we do another children fund. We still have to do that additional one, or this covers everything? It goes to
Yes, you still can give, because any donation that the club makes to the Kiwanis Children Fund, it actually goes towards the club dues.
Yeah. Also, just a reminder, when you're making that donation, there's an option that says to give your club the credit. Check on that box and ensure that your club gets the credit.
Right, thanks for that, because what Kiwanis Children Fund is doing is actually keeping a record of all the contributions over the period of time that the clubs have been making.
Okay, all right, great. All right, any other?
I'm sorry.
Other announcement?
I was trying to speak, but my mic was muted.
Okay.
So I was adding that we are now looking for LGEs. So clubs may send in their nominations to IPLG Run It. But they would the persons they are nominating would first need to sign the consent form.
Okay.
All
right.
Thank you.
All right, we have a lot of persons who would qualify for such an office. So please send in your nominations, sign and seal, so that we can get our process moving. All right.
We'll talk about that later too.
Let's move on. We're moving right along. Any other business, Mr. President, that you want to discuss that we can share with the public? Mr. President?
Yes, DP Donovan. As we should all know, it is approaching that time when we have to nominate the persons for the new administration. And we have to be also selecting our chairman for that nominating committee. And I can inform my club members that our chairman for the nominating committee for the Kiwanis Club of Portmore is none other than DP Donnell. So he'll be putting his committee together and getting his team working so that we can have our persons ready for when that time comes, so we can have them submitted.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. All right. I thank you for that. Now, I'm not sure if our Sarge is online. DP Eric? DP Eric, are you online?
Hello, Derek is online.
When I scanned, I did not see him.
Okay. All right. DP Eric is not here. And I don't have a joke like DP Eric. So what I'll do at this stage, through you, Mr. President, is acting on behalf of the Sarge is to do a blanket Sarge to our members. So each member charge them $200, and the secretary will take a note of the persons that are online and ensure that our next face-to-face meeting is collected. Right? Does any member online have a joke that they would like to share? And not one of those jokes when we're together, and one of those that can go into the public. Any members?
No joke.
Okay, we only have one joker in the club, DP Eric. All right, so we'll leave it until he comes to give us one. So it's over to you. My job is done now, Mr. President. Over to you for your termination.
Thanks very much, DP Donovan, for an excellent job of conducting our meeting this evening. At this time, I'm going to ask all on the platform to stand and raise their glass, real or imagine, and let us give a toast to Kiwanis International.
Friends of Jamaica.
Friends of Jamaica.
Friends of Jamaica. Safe journey home.
Journey home.
All right.
This meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Portmore is now terminated at 9:54.
8:54. I want to this youth.
8:54. And not having wearing my glasses. 8:54.
All right. Great stuff. Mr. Music Man.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.
And thanks one and all for coming out.
Good night. You're welcome.
So far, Shangan.
Excellent meetings, President. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Very informative. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Take care. Drive safely if you have to drive.
All right, so we can start promoting we can start promoting our LG from now.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Have a LG?
Our LG that we working, gonna put forward.
That's so.
Right, my members? Right,
Definitely.
members?
I concur. Definitely.
Come on.
That's all like DP Vincent. Ready yourself, DP Vincent.
No, man, the man know himself, man. Don't worry yourself.
Well, the good thing about the DP Donovan, the club has a long line of prospects.
That's good. That is good.
It's not an individual.
DP Donovan.
Yes.
And may I just add that, once the member has signed the form and submit same, his secretary is already secure, so no need to worry about that.
Yeah, man.
And the secretary is a good mentor as well.
Set.
And the secretary is a very good mentor as well.
Listen to me now, man. This luck, No backing out. Yeah, man.
None whatsoever.
You all have a good night now. You hear?
So, Diane, are you still on, Diane? My friend Diane, are you still on?
Diane is still on.
Hi, Diane.
Diane, do have the time for her husband to be
Diane
out.
Morgan, I'm referring to Diane Morgan now.
Yeah, Mrs. Morgan, do have the time for her husband to be out on the road.
Diane Morgan. Oh, she gone. Because I want to tell her that she'll have to give up somebody for a little while.
Yeah, I think it's about time the club have a LG.
Another LG, yes, man.
Yeah.
So we have to work on that.
Good time.
Good night.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right, take care, guys. Have a good one.
Yep. Take care.
Night, everyone.
Alright. I'm sorry I'm sorry the start not on, you know. Because our secretary will going to have to pay heavily.
How
I'm
come you
like
never pay anything, Daniel?
Anybody did invite him, Daniel?
Daniel never pay
I
anything.
remind him.
I'm gonna have to talk to that sergeant, you know.
You're the secretary, no? Secretary give one a new Kiwani and new name.
Linval Lewis.
Yes.
The Sarge.
I apologize for that. I don't know where I'm getting
You'll have to
it from.
pay
I
for
know
that.
some write it down.
You'll have to pay for that one.
Linval is his middle name.
Mr. President,
Yeah, yes, DP Vincent.
I thought you said you was going to
Again?
have a small chat with the members.
Yeah.
Kiwanis Club of
But the
Portmore.
guests, no, the guests will have to leave, man. The guests have to leave.
Start up our other meeting.